This happened to me when I was in 10th grade. Our school was old, not historic in a cool way, just old in a worn-down, creaky, dusty way. The hallways always smelled faintly like cleaning chemicals and old paper. One Friday, I stayed late after school to finish a history project. My friend Hassan was supposed to stay with me, but his mom picked him up early. So by 5:30 p.m., I was alone in the classroom. At least, I thought I was. The sun was almost gone, and the orange light coming through the tall windows made everything look darker than usual. I was sitting in the back row with my laptop open when I heard a chair scrape across the floor. It came from the front of the room. I looked up quickly. All the chairs were perfectly tucked in. I froze. "Hello?" I called out, thinking maybe a teacher came back. No answer. I stood up slowly and walked toward the door. It was closed. I tried the handle. Locked. That didn't make sense. I hadn't heard anyone lock it. Our classroom doors automatically lock from the outside, but from inside, they always open. I tried again. It wouldn't budge. My heart started beating faster. That's when I heard it again. A slow, dragging sound. Like wood scraping against tile. But this time it was right behind me. I turned around so fast, I nearly slipped. One chair in the middle row was pulled out. Just slightly. I swear it hadn't been like that before. I felt this wave of cold air pass by me, even though the windows were shut. The lights above me flickered once. "Stop messing with me," I whispered, even though I knew no one was there. My phone buzzed suddenly, making me jump. It was a text from Hassan. "Bro, why are you still in class?" I typed back. "Doors locked. Did someone prank me?" He replied almost instantly. "What are you talking about?" "They said no one stayed after school. The security guard locked everything 20 minutes ago." My stomach dropped. Locked everything? That meant the building was empty. I tried the door again, slamming it this time. "Hello?" The hallway outside was silent. Then the classroom lights went out. Complete darkness. I gasped and stepped back, hitting a desk. My phone was the only light now. I turned on the flashlight and scanned the room. Every chair was pulled out, all of them, in perfect rows, facing me. My breathing became loud and shaky. I backed toward the corner of the room, shining the light around. That's when I saw it. Written on the whiteboard in dark marker were the words, "You stayed too late." I swear those words weren't there before. The dragging sound started again. This time, it wasn't a chair. It sounded like something moving across the ceiling. Right above me, the ceiling tiles creaked. I ran to the windows trying to open one. They were sealed shut. My phone battery dropped to 5%. Then I heard a whisper, right next to my ear. "You shouldn't be here." I screamed and dropped my phone. The flashlight rolled across the floor, spinning. For a split second, in that moving beam of light, I saw something standing near the teacher's desk. Tall, too tall, its head nearly touching the ceiling. And then, everything went dark. The next thing I remember is waking up outside the school building. It was early morning. The front doors were open, and teachers were arriving. My laptop was next to me. My bag too. But my phone was gone. When I told the principal what happened, he checked the security cameras. He called my parents immediately. Because at 6:12 p.m., the cameras showed me walking out of the classroom calmly, alone, smiling. Our school had 3 floors. The 3rd floor girls' bathroom was rarely used because most classes were downstairs. One day during lunch, my friend Sana dared me to go up there and say hello 3 times into the mirror. It was some dumb urban legend about a girl who died there years ago. I didn't believe it, but I went anyway. The 3rd floor hallway felt different. Quiet, like the air was heavier. The lights flickered slightly, even though they never did downstairs. I pushed open the bathroom door. It creaked loudly. Inside, it was cold. Way colder than it should have been. I walked to the mirror over the sinks. My reflection looked pale under the harsh white lights. I laughed at myself. "Hello," I said once. Nothing. "Hello," I said again. Still nothing. I leaned closer to the mirror. "Hello." The lights flickered hard, then turned off. The bathroom went dark except for the dim light coming from the hallway. I turned to leave, but all the stall doors slammed shut at once. Bang, 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 I screamed. From the last stall, I heard soft crying. A girl's voice, quiet at first, then louder. I slowly stepped toward it. The crying stopped. Silence. My hands were shaking as I reached for the stall door. I pushed it open, empty. But on the inside of the door, scratched into the metal, were the words, "Stay." The main bathroom door suddenly shut on its own. I ran toward it and tried to pull it open. Locked. Behind me, I heard footsteps, bare feet on tile, slow, wet, dragging steps. I didn't turn around. I didn't want to. The mirror in front of me cracked down the middle with a loud snap. In the broken reflection, I saw her, standing right behind me. Long black hair covering her face, school uniform soaked like she'd been pulled from water. Her head tilted slowly, and then she whispered, "Why did you call me?" I shut my eyes and screamed. When I opened them again, the lights were back on. The bathroom was empty. The door unlocked easily. I ran downstairs and told Sana everything. She laughed at first until I showed her my arm. There were long, red scratch marks across it, like fingernails. Later that week, the principal announced the 3rd floor bathroom would be permanently closed due to maintenance. But sometimes, during class, I still hear crying coming from above, and our school only has 2 floors. The 3rd story is, we had a substitute teacher for 1 week while our math teacher was sick. His name was Mr. Keller. He was tall, thin, and extremely quiet. He barely blinked. His voice sounded flat, like he was reading from memory. The weird part, no one ever saw him enter or leave the building. He was just there. On the first day, he didn't take attendance. He just started teaching. Halfway through class, he stopped and looked at the empty seat in the corner. "Why are you late?" he asked. We all turned. The seat was empty. A few students laughed nervously. But Mr. Keller didn't smile. He stared at that empty chair for a long time, then slowly nodded. "Sit down." I felt chills run down my spine. The next day, one student named Hamza didn't show up. We thought he was sick. Mr. Keller looked at his empty desk and smiled. By Friday, 3 students were absent. Each time, Mr. Keller would look at their empty seats and say, "Good, you're learning." I felt sick just hearing that. On the last day of the week, I stayed after class to ask about homework. The room felt darker than usual. "Sir?" I said. He turned toward me slowly. His eyes looked wrong, almost too dark. "Do you see them?" he asked quietly. "See who?" He pointed to the back of the room. I swear, for a second, I saw shapes sitting in the empty desks. Dark shapes, watching me. I blinked, and they were gone. I ran out of that classroom. The following Monday, our regular teacher returned. I asked what happened to Mr. Keller. She looked confused. "We didn't hire a substitute," she said. "And Hamza?" I asked. She paused. "Hamza moved away last year." I didn't say anything after that, but sometimes when attendance is called, I hear an extra voice quietly answer, "Present," from the empty seat in the corner. The fourth story is most students didn't know there was a basement in our school. I found out by accident. I was staying late for basketball practice when I went looking for a ball that rolled down a side hallway near the gym. At the end of that hallway was a metal door I'd never seen before. It was slightly open. Cold air drifted out. Curiosity got the best of me. I stepped inside. A staircase led down into darkness. There were no lights on. Halfway down, I smelled something metallic, like rust or blood. The basement was huge. Old storage boxes lined the walls, broken desks stacked in piles, and in the center of the room, chairs. Dozens of them, arranged in a circle. I heard the door upstairs slam shut. I ran back to the stairs. The door wouldn't open. My chest tightened. From behind me, I heard whispering. Soft at first, then louder, like multiple voices talking over each other. I turned slowly. The chairs were no longer empty. Shadows filled each one. Sitting, watching. I felt tears in my eyes. "Please, let me out." One shadow stood up. It stepped toward me. Its shape shifted, almost glitching. And then I recognized something. It was wearing our school uniform, the same one I had on. It tilted its head, and in a voice that sounded exactly like mine, it said, "You shouldn't have come down here." The lights flickered on for a split second. All the chairs were empty again. The door upstairs creaked open. I ran out and never told anyone. But ever since that night, sometimes when I walk past mirrors at school, my reflection doesn't copy me right away. Sometimes it smiles first.